welcome to the first ever episode of Which Word Weekly. I'm your host, Gretta Pastukh. Our first interview today was Drexcon Voidvolt. He is a gnome. He would like everyone to know that he is a master transmuter and an alchemist. He is very passionate about alchemy. This little gnome was extremely fun to talk to. He's very bubbly and knowledgeable. He believes that engineering is the gnome's greatest contribution to the Alliance. He also thinks that the gnome culture was centered around machinery and mines, and more of the intellectuals of the Alliance. His favorite color is black. Next up, we have Jolissa. She goes by the nickname Jo. Jolissa was extremely perky, very upbeat human. She has a chronic case of hiccups, so that does make talking to her sometimes a bit unusual than, say, you're talking to somebody that doesn't have a case of chronic hiccups. Most people assume that she is drunk when they first meet her because she constantly has hiccups. And after they realize she's not drunk, she is usually scared by them, or they try to scare the hiccups out of her. She believes in benevolent higher powers and defending those who cannot. She is an upholder of justice. She also believes that family isn't just blood. She has a great outlook on life. She's very optimistic and enjoys every minute of it. Her favorite color is red. Next up, I had the pleasure of talking to the elusive dwarf female. This is one of two that I've actually seen wandering around the city, and her name was Rila, also Rila the Red or Rila the Lucky. She was born in Ironforge and works for the Explorers League, wandering around a lot, and she says that her luckiest moment was when she was in the troll ruins of Daenerys. She found an intact hut, which is extremely rare to come by, seeing as most are destroyed. She set off a fire trap that was inside the hut, and it actually flew right over her head and missed her, so that was definitely her luckiest moment that the trap spared her life. She thinks that exploring is a great part of dwarven culture and researching the why and how of Azeroth. So that's what the dwarves have to really contribute, was their research and finding artifacts. She's not an archaeologist per se, but she is very interested in figuring things out. Her favorite color was also red. Next up, I have Dross. I talked with Dross mostly about his guild called the Bounty Hounds. Despite their name, they're not bounty hunters. They fight against demons, naga, drakes, and other malevolent creatures of Azeroth, keeping the rest of us safe. The guild is an adventuring guild. He is a proficient engineer and uses trinkets to fight, usually. They do not try to tie into the Alliance culture much. Their real purpose of being is to protect culture and keep it safe for others. So he is a very protective type of individual and extremely fun to talk to. He feels that being a leader is stressful, but it's worth it to be able to help others and to save his friends. His favorite color was a light shade of teal. Sigmire was the next person I talked to. He was a worgen sitting out front of the Blue Recluse. He was actually sitting alone, so it was rather easy to get an interview with him. He is a hunter. He doesn't hunt to kill, though. He hunts rare and exotic animals and collects them and raises and trains them as pets. So he has a collection of 50 of the best looking animals in Azeroth right now, and he is an avid trainer. His favorite pet was Tarkus, whom he had with him. It was a fiery turtle. It was extremely cool. This thing was like flaming lava. It was great. So that was a really interesting part of the interview, was seeing his turtle pet. He believes that being a worgen has greatly attuned him to his animal instincts and definitely helps him in training these animals that he gets. His favorite his favorite color was a shade of dark gray. The next person I met with was a Draenei, and I'm very sorry, Sia, but like you said, I just can't pronounce your name right. Most of us humans can't, and we all apologize. I'm so sorry. I'll put a little blurb of what her real name was, but I'm just going to call her Sia. So, her name means the jewel in the obsidian. She was a very light-based paletic family, and she grew up jewel crafting and doing herbalism since she was a female. Her male counterparts of the family were the ones that were actually trained in palladism and being the warriors, while she got to do more of the traditional female roles. But she is now in training to be a paladin, although her paladin teacher is kind of MIA, so it's put a damper on her learning. She is a very proficient jeweler, and she makes personalized jewelry for customers. So if you want a necklace, she was wearing a very pretty one when we met. It had a couple of gems in it and copper detailing around it, so I liked it. I'll probably go to her for a necklace sometime. You guys should too. Even though she doesn't own a shop yet, she is working to get one. Her favorite color is light green. Foranth Bale, a dwarf male that I met in the Cathedral District, was another interview that I had. He believes that the dwarven culture contributes holidays such as Brewfest and Wintervale to the Alliance. They influence the Alliance a lot because they are one of the oldest races. The dwarves have a strong spirit, and he believes that they are the backbone for the Alliance. His favorite colors are red and gold. Kelthos Moonglade was the next person I met. He also goes by Kel. He had just been paralyzed from a recent fight, so he was riding on a hippogriff. He's a druid of the Talon, which I was really interested in learning because I didn't know anything about druid culture before I met him. He also has a twin brother. He said that Talon druids are the scouts, messengers, and support of the druids. They usually specialize in the storm crow form, which is the flight birds. For anybody that didn't know, I didn't. I had to ask. So the druid culture is mostly about maintaining balance in the natural world. They have contributed positively to the Alliance and the military, and about the awareness of treating nature with respect. His favorite color was purple. The last two interviews on my list are two people that I'd really just like to give a shout out to because I didn't get to talk to them for very long. They were two of the first interviews that I did before I realized that I could make this a type of series for you guys to enjoy. So I'd like to give a shout out to Dragon's Bane the Shaman. He is a Pandaren shaman, and one of the things I talked to him about was shamanism and the cultures. He feels that the orcs have actually taught the most about shamanism to Azeroth, and he appreciates the variety of the many cultures in Stormwind. He enjoys being a part of the Alliance. Ariel Forlades was another one of my mini interviews. His nickname was Frills. He was a knight, squire, and raised on a farm. That was as far as I got from him because I got pulled through the twisty nether and I have no recollection of what happened. I'm sorry. It's one of those, magic things that happens to us occasionally. I apologize. Goes along with the territory. Anyways, that is our show for tonight. I would like to go ahead and let everybody know again. The Witch Word Weekly is seeking security guards, engineer maintenance, and hosts for the show every Wednesday. So I'd like to eventually have one person in each tavern kind of leading discussions about the show afterwards. If you guys are interested in joining the project, please send me mail and let me know. I'd love to have you. I'm also opening the show up to commercials, so that's pretty exciting. If you have a product, a guild, or something you want people to know about, let me know, and I will take your gold in exchange for giving you some time on my show. See, now it works out for both of us, right? Anyways, thanks for joining us. Please join me again next Wednesday at 8 p.m. in every tavern in Stormwind. This is Gretta Pastukh signing off.